Hey, welcome back to Evil's Comics. I'm Evil Mike, and I got a review for you today. From Boom Studios, we're going to be talking about Once Upon a Time at the End of the World, issue number 9. It's written by Jason Aaron, art by Leila Del Duca, colors by Tamra, Bonvillain, and letters by AndWorld Design. And this cover is the B cover, and it's done by Kevin Wadu. Before we get started, please like, comment, subscribe on this guy's channel right here. It does help. I am trying to progress my channel, hit the like button, the comment, all that stuff. Hit the bell. You never know when I'm going to be dropping videos. I don't have a schedule, but it will keep you in touch. It's all free too. Alright, let's get into it. So this is chapter 4 into the rise and fall of Gala Gonzala. And honestly, before we get started, there's 2 warnings. If you're not an open-minded person, this might not be the book for you. If you don't have any problems with it, let's continue, But the second warning is there's nudity in the book. Of course, it's cartoon nudity, but that goes with the open-mindedness. But we are at the end of this, like, the rise and fall of Gala Gonzala. Everything's going wrong. We have this mist that's coming through. It looks like it's poisoning people at the same time, making them go crazy, all kinds of crap. We don't really know at this point because there is an element where it could be physical too, not really all in their heads. So the book starts out and it kind of relates that the mist is kind of everywhere through Gala Gonzala. And then we kind of jump over to Mez and Mezzy doing what they do best, they're getting it, done. And actually at this moment they're not getting it done. They're kind of, they're having to wear the gas mask because the mist is everywhere. It's the only way they can stay safe. But at the same time, that they're not really into the whole kind of situation. And this kind of, it's a sign to what's to come. This disconnect over one thing. And right now it's the gas mask. They're failing to get that loving feeling without being able to see each other's faces. But at this time, it's a disconnect that goes both ways. We got Maceo, and he's he believes an invention is going to get him out of this, and we got Mezzy, and she believes that there's this phantom monster stranger that's running around causing all this. And at this point, it's shown that they're both ways to complete their mission, or at least start their mission. That's what the rest of the book is. Eventually Mezzy, she gets her rangers together, which, at this point, it's one of those ironic things because it's the thing in this world that she's afraid of the most is the Wasteland Rangers. But she gets them anyways, and they go out and hunt for this monster. And at the same time, we got Maceo, and he's doing what he needs to do, trying to figure out how to solve. He's trying to vent the mist and the fumes to go outside of the buildings that they're in, because they're kind of in like a big mall type structure. It's never really stated, I don't think. It could be like a school, I don't know. They do show moments when when Mezzy and them are out on the hunt, eventually like giving up on that, not finding anything. She does go and talk to this girl named Jakin that was attacked by her lover at the time, that went crazy, ended up eating out her eyeballs, as you can see. She was asleep and woke up to that. But she swears she saw someone that was with her lover, getting her to do the dark deed. So Mezzy's trying to get her to describe this person, and she does describe it to like a person until you see her face. And then when you see their face, it just looks like everything that's the worst from the post-apocalyptic wastelands merged into a face, as they put it. Basically a horrific monster type of thing. As the book goes along, there's going to be this back and forth, and really what it gets down to, this is a relationship that's failing at every aspect. They're not doing anything to fix the relationship. They're still in love with each other, but there's this disconnect because they're both going on with their mission. As I mentioned before, some crazy stuff that comes out of the fumes. We don't know if we're physically seeing that, but supposedly this girl ain't even dead. She was alive when they found her, all in the roses and everything. But at this point, it's death after death. Most of the people that are there in Gala Gonzala that have stayed at this point past the mist, sadly, are slowly but surely one way or another dying due to this or that. This guy, you know, right here, he ends up dying, you know, because this guy, you know, his mate goes too far. And there's some other, you know, they find this guy who's been badly burned. Every time they find a person that has been killed or almost to the point of death, they do see these signs of the monster kind of thing. Like I mentioned, there is that whole disconnect that they are kind of talking to each other, but at the same time they're so wrapped up in their missions, they're kind of not listening to each other. The book kind of visually shows you kind of that disconnect. And the basic way I can sum it up is, if you've ever had a bad relationship, this is basically that point when, you know, either they're going to fix it or they need to go their separate ways kind of thing. So we get here, and Mezzie's still doing the hunt. She's investigating people, you know, trying to find this monster, and she's not, you know, gaining any ground, not getting any closer. Every time she thinks she's getting closer, you know, she's not. Mezzio, at the other hand, has, at this point, kind of fixed the problem with the fumes. So it comes a time when, like, you know, I think Mezzi gives up. Eventually, she even tries letting out one of the infected. The infected ends up doing this weird thing where he ends up eating all these books. Mezzi and her crew end up beating that guy to death, like, because he was eating the books, and those are the last books known to civilization. And after they do it, they end up weeping because they realize what they did, kind of thing. But like I mentioned, Messio and Messi, they do get to a point when he does fix the, you know, and that he gets the fumes to tunnel out of the little civilization that they're in. Messio finally runs back to Messi once this happens, and it's still this disconnect, even though Messio's trying to tell him that, hey, I fixed the problem, we don't have to wear these stupid gas masks anymore, you know. And Messi, she's so lost in her mission, and at this point it's a failed mission, and they're not really hearing each other. And Messio, he keeps stating this, like, man, it's almost like you're speaking another language kind of thing. Eventually he does get them both to take off their gas mask, you know, kind of saying that that's the reason they can't understand each other. And as soon as they finally take off their gas mask, and, you know, this page kind of scared the crap out of me, but we actually see what they're seeing. You know, this is what Mezzi's seeing that Messio looks like, and that's what Mezzi looks like to Messio, you know, in that moment. And at this point in time, I'm going to believe that it's not even the fumes. Maybe they're infected by this stuff. The fumes probably were there, but they probably already smelled it, and it's there. But at this point, I mean, they show us what they really look like. It's all in their heads kind of thing. Mezzi, on one point, that she has achieved something that, you know, she didn't think she could achieve because she just found the monster. Messio, on the other hand, he doesn't even know who the hell he's looking at kind of thing. He doesn't recognize the person in front of him kind of thing. It's kind of that metaphor, that's how disconnected they are kind of thing. But not only that, being affected by the fumes or whatever. But that's where this book leaves us off at. There's no cover hint, no hint on another, you know, issue or nothing. We're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. I love this issue, but at the same time, it was a very depressing and sad, you know, kind of story is where we're getting to. And hopefully we're gonna get past this and get back to where the story kind of started in the original stuff. But we do know there's a disconnect between the two. But let me know down below what you're thinking about this book. You know, a couple people requested this issue, so, you know, let me know if you're still digging it kind of thing. I am. I'm the art, the story, everything. I'm just kind of wishing we'd get past this part. But guys, that's my reviews. I'll let y'all go.